All right, we'll be going on the air here shortly. I'm usually in bed right now, but problem is I got school. I'm in school still, so but it's a Sunday now, so might just be on stream for about 30 minutes and then head to bed. So I'm tired, but I'm ready. I'm ready when you are. Yeah, yeah, because this thing just hit just last night. Like the National Hurricane Center has issued the last advisory last night. 2 days ago? Okay. Yeah, I'm a little bit off. Yep, so cold front's pushing the storm a little bit to the east. Yep. Hmm. We got a question coming in from the chat. It says, "What are your opinions on this typhoon that hit Taiwan becoming a possible super typhoon? It looked very impressive." Yes, it is 150 miles an hour. This typhoon that And we got reports coming in. We got 2 reports coming in south of it is south of it's between Belfast, Maine. We got reports of flooding. Water over Route 1 in Newport between Beach Hill Road and Shore Road. And same one. Yeah, I'm looking on GR2 Analyst, and we got reports coming in. Then another one at Shearsport in Wilder County, Maine. Yeah, that's the cold front. That's supposed to interact with the system. It was at 8 p.m. Cold front's right over New Hampshire right now. Oh yeah. All right. Okay, we got another question coming in. What is your opinion on Tropical Storm Lindia, whatever the name is, Lydia, and saying convention towers? Yep, and her cone is set to curve to the west as of 6 p.m. Sunday. It will begin its movement to the west northwest at 6 p.m. Sunday Pacific time. I'm in the east. God dang it. It's moving right now to the northwest northwest, but it's expected to curve to the east. Bounce around. So we're possibly gonna go for a maybe a category two. Maybe a low cat two or a low three maybe. Yeah, I wanna take a look at sea surface temperatures real quick while you do that. Sea surface temperatures is around 31 degrees Celsius where from that. Yeah, this thing could be ready for rapid simplify. You know, check the air monopoly as well. Oh yeah. Just like Lee, for example. That's gonna be Monday. No, Tuesday actually. Yes, on Tuesday. I thought it was a Monday. But yeah, but once this thing goes into the Gulf of but we also got some concerns about this as well, because some of these malls are showing it could reform in the Gulf of Mexico. It could become because right now we got extremists off the coast of Africa, and it will become an area of interest in the upcoming next few days. Yes, the one that's off the coast of Africa right now. It has a 20% chance of forming in the next 2 days, but a 70% chance in the 7 days. Models are showing it could become a major hurricane at that latitude. No. And it already has. It already made land. But yeah, but anyways, I gotta get going now. But if for y'all who are watching the stream, good night, and Chase will keep you guys coverage of the system. See ya.
Oh shoot, my mic wasn't on the whole time. Alright. So yeah, I guess I'm not able to guess I'm finally able to talk to you guys. Right. So, let's go back to this. Right. You wanted to know more about the rapid intensification of Lydia. Lydia could rapidly intensify due to the fact that shear's low. Let me go back to that. Um, Sorry guys, I did not realize. Right. Should have probably checked. Right. So here is the tropical storm Lydia. And if we go over to, wait, what's wind hazards? Hey, there's the chances of, oh, that's very, very cool. I never noticed this on here. Um, wow, okay. Anyways, in terms of models and stuff, when you're talking about the system right over here, if we go to the latest frames, you'll notice that, shear's what stops systems from developing and stuff. So whenever it's low, basically under this line, it can develop, and whenever it's above that line, it starts weakening. So as you can see here, it's going to be on a downward trend up until the 10th, and then after the 10th, it's going to start getting worse for the system. And that's what can weaken it. That's a good thing. Um, so yeah, basically all the way up until mainly over here, it's going to be favorable. Very, very favorable. And then afterwards, it's going to start deteriorating very, very rapidly. So that's why the system can weaken in this time frame. So that's a big deal with that. So, but it still could make landfall as a hurricane. That's very likely. Could be a bit stronger than just the bare minimum. But that's Lydia. All right. So now going back over to Philippe, the you can see the low right over here. Let me see if anyone. Nope. Okay. Yeah. So what I was gonna show you all earlier that didn't really work out too well is the rainfall totals. Anywhere in this like little light gray area is like a trace of rainfall up to an inch when you get towards the darker grays. So basically, this area right over here has an inch of rain has fallen, and then whenever you get to the blues at the very end, that's 2 inches of rainfall. So you'll see little spots here, and at the very ends, right down. Nope, not really, just a little bit down here as well. But that's the area with around 2 inches of rainfall. So it's gradual rainfall, but still, when you're talking about multiple hours of potentially getting these heavy rainfall amounts, that's pretty bad. Also, the thing is, the good news is there will be relief down to the south now. As you can see, most of the rainfall is moving up north, moving away. All right. All right. So, yeah, there's heavy rainfall here, but now let me cover over all the different systems now. So, we've got 5 different threats for lands right now. We have, Lydia, as I was saying, it's going to be a hurricane threat for Mexico. Another threat for Mexico is potential tropical cyclone 16E, which has a very good opportunity to intensify before making landfall as around a mid-range tropical storm, maybe a bit higher, maybe a bit lower. It's just mainly due to the interaction of Lydia. So by the time the system is over here, Monday 8 p.m., the other system is going to be right over here. This dot is equivalent to this dot. This dot is equivalent to this dot, so they're going to be going out together if that makes sense. All right, so That's both of those systems. There is a tropical storm watch that has been issued for this system. It could be interesting to see if there's going to be two tropical storm watches connected for both systems. But yeah, that's in the eastern Pacific. Then we got three different disturbances in the western Pacific. Koinu is still a typhoon category 2. It is going to be gradually weakening up towards Hainan and then eventually Vietnam and Laos as a remnant low. You could get heavy rainfall amounts there. That's about it. So then over to Belaven, that's going to be a typhoon threats for Guam, Rota, and Tinian. And that's why there's typhoon watches already issued for the area. Um, all right, so yeah, sorry, I was looking at something. All right, so yeah, so basically this could become a powerful category 4, maybe even a category 5. That cannot be ruled out with this. And it's mainly going to be after it approaches Guam. Currently on radar, we cannot see anything, mainly due to the fact that it's too far away from the radar. So yeah, the systems, if I pull up satellites, should be around this area. Yep, right over here. It's a little bit far away from the weather radar reaches. So even though it may look like it can cover parts of it's too far away. If that makes sense. Um, but yeah, um, there is koinu, also known as Jenny in the Philippines. There's the Hainan area, Vietnam, Laos, that's going to eventually be approaching with heavy rainfall amounts. That's going to be the main threat, and also with Belaven, that's going to be a big threat in terms of rip currents for Japan. So yeah, as it goes by, it's going to be a big threat for that. If I pull up wave heights, let me go to the Western Pacific. Here we go. As you can see right now, it's a small system over here. And as we go in time, you can get heavy waves approaching like 17 feet or 15 plus feet off the coast of Japan. So yeah, that's a big threat. And then with the system, you can get waves above 50 feet. And this will eventually approach Alaska, which is going to be a big threat for there as well. Let me go back to a prior run. So as you can see, it could approach some islands of Alaska. That can't be ruled out. So it's going to be a big threat for the area. Let me pull up different runs and stuff. It's going to be a powerful post-tropical system. Right over here, it's going to be doing a little dance with another one that forms to its west. All right, so that's that system. So now going back over to hi Sham and the birds, or burbs. Hi. Alright, so now going back over to the Atlantic, there's also another disturbance, a tropical wave off of Africa that could become our next storm. That'd be named Sean. If I go over to the North Atlantic right now, and you look at this system right over here, and I go in time a bit, you'll see it's developing briefly, then dying out. So, although it may not be a U.S. threat or anything like that, it'll just be a tropical storm or maybe a minimal hurricane, but it'll be out to sea. But something that may not be out to sea, though, is the remnants of Lydia, which may reform in the Gulf of Mexico. That's something that can't be ruled out. And so as you get let me pull up the region. See, yes, Eastern Pacific, here we go. Alright, so as you can see, it slams into Mexico and then heads out, and then the remnants of it will impact the Florida coastline. Let me see if the Weather Prediction Center shows this at all. Yes, there's the remnants of it right over here. It's going to be merging with the front. And then finally heading out towards Florida. By Thursday and Friday, they're going to start getting the heavy rainfall impacts from the system. So, all right, let's see. Lydia could rapidly intensify. I can't rule that out. Um, since it will become a hurricane soon. No, don't worry, guys. I'm gonna go through all your comments and stuff like that. So Lydia is a good or like it's by the time it becomes a hurricane, that's when you could see rapid intensification. We can't rule out a major hurricane, but it will weaken before landfall. So no matter what intensity it gets, it should be a little bit weaker before it makes landfall. Even if it's just 5 miles an hour difference, it's likely going to weaken a bit. And as you can see here, some models have the remnants going towards the Gulf of Mexico, but definitely, no matter what's the remnants, the rainfall remnants at least, will make it towards Mexico, or the Gulf of Mexico at least. Alright, so that was the first thing. Then someone asked me, do you prefer the Euro or GFS? I definitely prefer the Euro model in terms of reasonable intensification. If the Euro goes with something, then definitely follow it, I'd say, in my opinion. So, like over here, oh, yeah, they're showing something trying to form in the Gulf of Mexico. That's interesting. Didn't see that. Whoa, yeah, the Euro's on board with it. Yeah, so that's definitely something to watch out for, and that's before Lydia even crosses over. So yeah, there could be a brief system heading towards the Panhandle right around October 12th. And the Euro model was the first one to start predicting Idalia, which, as you can see, it is a very good model, I'd say. All right, so next one is the GFS um, like the GFS is good for long range. And no, I don't know. Euro is good up to until 10 days time frame and stuff. Euro does very good at showing reasonable intensification. Albeit storms can intensify faster and weaker than it, mainly faster. Um, the Euro does a pretty good job. Once the low is developed, mainly, like you see this shows a good idea of its intensification period and where it's going afterwards. And yeah, it shows a good idea on what systems will do. So like the fact that a system may form in the South China Sea, that's accurate. I'd say that could happen. So yeah, I definitely do prefer the Euro model out of any model. I'd say. All right. So, yeah. All right. So, what else do you want to ask, Shaman the Burbs? Because there's a lot going on. I'd say and that's an understatement. And also, Kevin, what else do you want to ask? Because there's lots of systems going on right now. Like, do you want to ask storm surge or stuff like that? What do you want me to cover right now? Looks like it has an eye almost, but no, that's not it. All right, what do you guys want me to cover? All right, so anyways, I'll cover this. Let's see. Is anything going to hit Florida? Major impacts. Well, one of the main things to consider is that October is the peak for Florida hurricanes. So, mainly due to the fact that it's mainly southern Florida, southwestern Florida, and storms are going to be moving in, let me pull it up, in this direction, mainly. So, like if you'd see a storm, it's most likely going to go from west to east. If that makes sense. This isn't really the time where it gets a direct landfall from the east to west. It's mainly just storms in the Caribbean decide to finally curve out due to a front making it go that direction. Um, it's just the front acts as a curve due to the system. As it hits it, bounces off with the front and goes with the front. That's with storms like Ada and stuff like that. And Wilma also did the same thing, where it finally went to the east. Um, but yeah, that's another thing why. Um, yeah, that's the main thing why. Oh, and also, guys, don't forget to like the stream, please. Okay. Yeah, that's something to look out for this month of October. There could be spin ups that try and occur in the Caribbean and then lead towards Florida. I don't expect major hurricanes, maybe a hurricane at most, but mostly a tropical storm or subtropical storm or something like that. Alright, so I let's see. Events wants me to cover potential tropical cyclone 16E. That's also likely going to be the system that tries to develop in the Gulf of Mexico. It's a mess though. So the system, let me look at its satellite presentation. I haven't really gone into that yet. It's getting organized. You'd get your outflow or banding, I guess you could say. This is what allows the system to breathe. Oh, wrong thing. Alright, let me fix that. Yeah, this is how you can see there's little bits of outflow that go out of it and whatnot. Right over here, there's a big bands. I guess you could say this band is merging with Linda or Lydia. I mean, so yeah, it's getting its act together quickly, and the system is threatening the Mexican coastline from around Manzanillo all the way down to Acapulco, that area. And after it hits, it's going to rapidly weaken due to the mountainous terrain in central Mexico. And so, but the remnants will likely make it towards the Gulf of Mexico. There's already a low developing over here that's going to go down, and then this low right over here, they're going to try and merge together, I guess you could say. And so whatever remnants there are over here is going to approach the Florida coastline. In its the highest chance is definitely just a bunch of rain in the Panhandle. I've shown it in the GFS model right here. Um, that after the system hits, you can get some heavy rainfall amounts in the Panhandle, maybe some severe weather and stuff. That can't be ruled out. But another thing that can't be ruled out is a brief tropical or subtropical system developing there. So what else? A windy radar thing. Alright, so I use a custom color scale. Alright, windy, if you go to radar and satellite and weather radar, it gives you a different color scale. So in order to change it and stuff, I like to go over to the, let's see, where is it? Settings, and customize color scale, so I can make it whatever I want it to. So here it is. If you want to take a photo real quick, this is what it looks like. And you're able to just change the color settings and stuff like that. I typically do this because this is just like radar scopes kind of thing. Alright, so yeah, that's that. Let me see if I move away from that. Yeah. Alright, so the government of Canada, that's what provides this radar. NOAA provides radars as well here. But yeah, it's there's heavy rainfall amounts occurring. This has been continuing. Here, let me get the latest frames out so you all can see it. So yeah, there's areas up north. Let me find out where this is. Alright, around over. Hold on. Looking on my phone, trying to find out where the heck this is. Alright, so this is around. Let me get over here. That's where you can get areas of 2+ inches of rain. and that's where the heaviest rainfall is occurring. The most flood reports though are down over here near where's it, Bar Harbor. That's the main area with flood reports that have been occurring because they've been getting constant rain these past 2 days. All right, let me check. Something I wanted to check real quick is Taiwan rainfall accumulation. Oh, wrong thing. Um, nope. Okay, hold on. Here it is. This will show. Nope. Guess that's not it. Guess it was this. Hmm. No, that's not what I'm looking for. I'm trying to find the website I was on earlier. Um, huh. Let me find out what website I was on earlier. Oh yeah, and you're asking, okay, while I'm setting this up real quick, I'll answer your question. Why has everything been hitting Canada and stuff like that? I don't know. It's been an increasingly common occurrence. In 2021, we had Larry. In 2022, we had Fiona. And in 2023, we've had now both Lee and Philippe going there. Let me, right, searching up accumulation. It's mainly been just storms getting pulled by in. Right, hold on. Let me look this up. Taiwan. Trying to find the website name. Um, Alright, here it is. I'm gonna pull it up on stream real quick. The rainfall impacts for Koinu in Taiwan. Did they not update at all? Oh, is it loading? Alright, here we go. Let me do the last 3+ days or so. Jeez, okay. As you can see here, though, most of eastern Taiwan has been getting heavy, heavy rainfall amounts. Anything above the yellow is at least an inch. And this purple color of around 150 millimeters. Let me convert that. Yeah, that's around 6+ inches of rain in the purple. And then the 300 millimeters plus, that is nearly a foot of rain there. So let me go to a different color scale. And you can see areas that have gotten around 600 millimeters of rainfall, that is just insane. That's around 2 feet of rainfall right in this little area. Maybe even a bit more. Yeah, it's just been an insane scenario. Um, and it has verified, which was what was predicting like over 20 inches of rainfall. Right. Right, so, what else do you want me to cover? Alright, or yeah, hold on, let me, back over to the, Fiona thing, alright, or the, systems hitting New England and stuff like that. That's mainly due to, here, let me pull it up on here. I mean, Philippe is a really good example of this. There is a upper level low right over, right, if it lets me draw, right, an upper level low right over here, and a high pressure that was over here originally. So high pressures make it want to move this direction. That's why you get the storm turn from this way upwards. And then the low makes it want to spin this direction. So that's why you get the kind of scenario where it wants to bring it this direction, but the low wants to bring it this direction. So it has to make the middle of those two paths. And then eventually it gets sucked up into the low because the high is all the way over here-ish now. It's been retreating, so that's why the low takes hold. So, that kind of scenario has been playing out a lot, where there's a low over here, a high pressure here, and it makes the system want to split those two paths. But in the case of Lee, the high pressure eventually made it turn over this direction, and all the way towards the England and that area. Yeah, Earl almost did it. Tropical Storm Rena. Hold on. When's Rena? Oh, Rena. Oh, yeah, okay. Sorry, there's been so many storms. Alright, let me go back to when it was daytime. Let me figure out how long ago Rena was. Oh, hey, we have a new invest. Give me one moment to look at this. Invest 92L has just been given an invest status. No models or anything are out yet. It's at 30 miles an hour right now, so a decent wave. Right. Anyways, back over to Rena. Rena was a tropical wave that was monitored for quite some time, but it had the same kind of environmental conditions Philippe had, which were both favorable. So also, and another thing with this is they both had a good, how do I describe it? Good outflow, I guess. Oh shoot, hold on, everything's loading, it's taking a while. Oh god, I went too far, I think. Yes, way, way too far. Yeah, here we go. The outflow of one storm, outflow of Philippe, was the inflow for Rena, if that makes sense. Or you can count that both ways. The outflow for Rena was the inflow for Philippe. So they both were helping each other mainly, even though that wind shear is supposed to be killing systems like that. And that's one of the main reasons that that caused Philippe to do that. Um, that's what caused Philippe to do the funny, where it decided to stall for a bit and no longer head towards Puerto Rico mainly, and head up to the north. And that's why we're streaming right now. Because Philippe's trying to approach Canada, or Maine mainly. And so this is a United States landfall, albeit post-tropical. It is still a technical landfall. Alright, so yeah, right now, let me pull up latest rainfall. You can see how rainfall's been somewhat lowering recently. We're approaching diurnal minimum, which that's when rainfall is at its lowest. And that's going to be a very good thing. Um, but yeah, it's very bad that it was diurnal maximum earlier when the system was approaching land and stuff like that. Alright, so events ask, was the waters this warm in 2017? No, nothing has ever been this warm before. Let me just state that this was a record kind of warm. We already set the record worldwide of warmest sea surface temperature ever recorded down in Florida, I believe. Let me just check. 101 to Celsius. At 38 degrees Celsius, I believe that, yeah, that was the warmest ever recorded in the world. In terms of ocean temperature. So yeah, let me pull up sea surface temperature maps right now. Yeah, we are at the warmest right now, on record. So nothing has ever been this warm. Was 2017 warm? Probably. I don't know about that, but I mean, I know for a fact they aren't as warm as this. Like we've set so many records that the average sea surface temperatures in the Atlantic, the North Atlantic, are around 26 degrees Celsius. And considering the fact that you need at least 26 degrees Celsius to develop, that's a very, very bad case scenario where basically anywhere in this region has good conditions to develop right now. So as you can see how far north it's extending, normally I'd say it's about this far north ish, so it's not normally as far extending right over here. So yeah, I mean that's a very bad thing with this. Um, so yeah, it's never been this kind of warm. So yeah, the season hasn't really been able to take advantage of these sea surface temperatures before. Like all we had was Idalia, which any system could really do that. And also another thing I wanted to state though is by the time you're past 30 degrees Celsius, so by the time you're past the pinks, you already have perfect conditions with sea surface temperatures. Like, this is perfect for explosive intensification and stuff like that. So, no matter if you have 35 degrees Celsius versus 30 degrees Celsius, that doesn't matter. Basically, you already have the perfect sea surface temperatures, all that good stuff. The only thing that matters then is environmental conditions. So basically, going from 25 to 30 degrees Celsius has a major difference in the system, whereas 30 to 35 has nearly no difference. It's just all about the how how good the atmosphere is, how low the wind shear is, all that stuff. All right, 2022. That was a fairly inactive system or year, mainly due to wind shear overall. So that's why I believe so. So that's why there weren't many tropical waves as well. So I mean, I think I don't know. These are just guesses and whatnot. So um, the 2022 season wasn't really as active. The peak season obviously was active. We had like four systems at once, and that's very active. But overall, most systems did fail. Let's say. So that's why. And but keep in mind, it's not that that season um, wasn't active. It was an average season. So I mean, um, that's still um, that's still good and whatnot. But this season is above average. We've had I don't know how many storms, but I know we've had uh oh yeah yeah. Thanks for reminding me, events. The dry air, the Saharan dust intruded in August, which completely wiped out activity in July and August. So that was mainly the reason why. Thank you for reminding me. All right. So yeah, but it was still an average season even with that. So this season is above average, mainly due to sea surface temperatures and stuff like that. Normally during an El Nino, you get average sea surface temperatures. Never before has there been a year where we have had an El Nino plus record warm sea surface temperatures. So yeah, that's why systems can rapidly intensify or just rapidly die off due to the fact that there is no or due to the fact that there's wind shear causing it. So yeah, that's why we've seen systems rapidly organize, like Harold, which rapidly organized all the way up to its landfall in Texas, and storms like what else? I thought there was another weaker storm that happened recently. Let's see, Franklin as well did pretty good earlier. And then, yeah, Franklin obviously rapidly intensified in this range before turning all the way out to sea. But yeah, I mean, we've had systems rapidly organize. There's another system I could have sworn I did a live stream on right after Harold. Let me check out what that was. Oh yeah, we've had Let me just double check. Okay, yeah, so we went from Harold to Idalia. I forgot. Alright, so, let me see, what was the other thing? Yeah, we've had systems rapidly organize, such as Emily, that kind of thing, where it formed as a 50-mile-an-hour moderate tropical storm. So that's kind of stuff has happened throughout the year. Um, and Franklin intensifying or forming way quicker than expected. Yeah, at one point there was like 6 areas of interest active at once. Every single one of them formed. Yeah, but yeah, the sea surface temperatures very, very favorable for the whole entire Atlantic. That's why it's been more active. But yeah, the season has been very, very weird overall, where we've had a hurricane impacts California, Nevada, that area. And also, that was strange due to the fact that this area is colder than average. I forgot what it's called, but it's when the this whole area is below average, and that causes like seasonal effects and stuff. But even with that, we've had a tropical storm head towards this area, which is crazy. It transitioned post-tropical earlier than what it would have, like because the range of developments, as you can see, it's right over here. If we had like a normal one, it could be maybe over here, and above average we could have it over here. So yeah, it'd make it much longer towards California if it weren't for that. If that makes sense. All right, let's see what other questions. Something I'd like to cover though is definitely the storm surge with um, Bolavin. It's definitely going to be a big threat. Just keep in mind we do not know where it's going yet. All three islands are in the cone. So here's the three scenarios. Okay, if the storm goes towards this area, the flow will be this direction, meaning it brings storm surge on the southeastern the coastline of Guam. And it'd bring moderate storm surge for the other areas, not as much. But if the storm decided to make a beeline towards Rota area, Rota would get the like basically on the eastern side will get the worst storm surge, or the northern side of the storm, mainly the northeastern side. So if the storm goes this direction, it's going to be Guam that gets it. If it goes this area, Rota gets it. If it goes here, Tinian gets it. But like if it makes landfall directly on an island, the eastern side gets it the worst, the western side gets it the least. Because it's pulling out the water. So yeah, if we get the scenario where it goes towards Tinian and whatnot, or towards Rota, we get that circulation around where then waters. Oh yeah, and I forgot. Yeah, with this kind of scenario, northern Guam would get the worst kind of storm surge. Southern Guam would get the least. And then also over here we'd get Tinian getting impacts. If it goes all the way to the east, though, that's where we'd get the most storm surge on the northern side of Tinian and stuff like that. Basically, wherever it goes, if it's to the east of somewhere, it's going to be the northern side that gets the worst storm surge. If it goes to the west of an island, it's going to be the southern side that gets the worst of the system, if that makes sense. Alright, let's see. Alright, when will Hone form? Yeah, that's a big question. Because this year was supposed to be the year for it to form, since it's an El Nino and stuff like that. And it may not, the El Nino may not last until next year. So, I mean, this was supposed to be the year that it was supposed to form. So, I mean, we still have a chance all throughout. Oh, we are not here. We still have a chance for it to form. We don't know if it will form or not, but, yeah, it's going to be a weird one. We've had like subtropical systems. We've had storms go through the Central Pacific for the first time in a while. But yeah, it's going to be long shots to see Hone form this year, I'd say. but it definitely could form or no, I don't know. Next year it's gonna have a lower chance and progressively lower and lower, I guess you could say, up until the next El Nino, whenever that thing occurs. But who knows? We could still see it's in a neutral phase, a system try and develop. That's not out of the question. You never know. System briefly forms or something like that. All right, let me see. All right, so what else? Yeah, the storm surge with Lydia is mainly going to be the worst on the southern side. So if the system goes over here, Manzillo would get the worst of the impacts. If it goes through the central line, Porto Vallarta will get the worst of it. And the northern side is always going to be the least on this kind of situation. Because if the system's right here, you'll get the flow onshore there and offshore on the northern side. So, onshore for the southern side, onshore for the offshore on the northern side. So, yeah, if it goes over here on the northern side, right over here, the worst would be over here near Tepec, and then the least would be near Mazatlan. All right, how much surge in rain with what system would you like to know about? Because we've got in several systems, as you may know, 5 different systems impacting land. So it mainly 7 systems in total. Sorry. Right. So yeah, I mean there's 7 systems. So which one would you like to know about first? Yeah, we've got Lydia, we've got potential tropical cyclone 16, we got Philippe, we got Bolavin, we got Koinu, and we also got 92L and we got 97W. So yeah, which one would you like to know about first? Lydia is the first one you'd like to know about. So this one, it's a let's see. So storm surge with this kind of system, maybe around 6 feet, maybe a bit greater. It depends on its current intensification. Um, it could be a category or like if it's at a category 1, then you get the impacts like that's around 6 feet ish or stuff like that. I believe there's a website that can actually show it to me. I'm looking that up right now. Slosh is what it's called. Let me find it. Slosh. Oh wait, no, wrong thing. Here, I'm gonna pull it up on a different tab. Slosh storm surge. Um, yeah, let's see. Wow. Okay. Hmm. Okay, that was Dennis's slosh, right? I'm still trying to find out what it is. No, guess they don't do it there. So now let me look at slosh on Guam. Actually, dang. Okay. Nope. Guess not. I don't really think there's a way for me to see. Okay, I was just trying to do a little bit of research on that, and doesn't seem like it. Alright, so yeah, storm surge, you could get around 6 feet and whatnot, but let me cover the waves for both systems. Alright, so waves on the Eastern Pacific system, let me look at it. Let's keep in mind this isn't how far inland it'll make it. So yeah, maybe amounts of like 20 feet offshore, and then a little bit like 15 feet near the coastline. So yeah, I mean it's going to be a fast-moving system at the end. And this is when you can get the storm surge and stuff like that, or not storm surge, rip currents. But yeah, you can also get storm surge with this and stuff like that. Now let me look at the Western Pacific on their thing right over here. You see very high amounts, upwards of over 30 plus feet, and then by the time it's gone, you could see amounts over 50 feet, maybe even into the 60s and 70s feet of height of waves, but not onshore. Thankfully, it's mainly just very, very far. But you can see how far rip currents can occur with this system. Right all the way through the Philippines, Taiwan, Japan, Alaska, that main area. It's mainly wherever you see the arrows pointing away from the center. So you're right around here, and then down, or basically, let me draw that again. Right over here would be the worst areas for storm surge, or for rip currents, I mean. So right around here, that's where you'd get the worst impacts and stuff like that. So yeah, Guam, Tinian, Rota, all those little areas need to be aware of how long this will last, because even though the system would be gone, they'll still be getting impacts from it, being very, very far away. But storm surge in those islands yeah, I'll cover rainfall in moments. Storm surge in those areas, you could see it's going to be a very strange scenario because it depends on whether or not it makes landfall or close to landfall. You'd have to get the perfect scenario where you could get it depends a lot. So you could get, if it's a category 3 by the time it's over here, and let's say it goes right through this path, you could get like 10 feet of storm surge, maybe even a little bit more or less. Um, but it depends. If it goes threads the needle or goes somewhere like this way, you could get not a lot, like maybe 4 feet or something like that. Or if it's just a minimal hurricane or tropical storm, when it goes through this area, you wouldn't get much at all. But it mainly just depends on how strong it is, all that stuff. All right, so now let's go over through rainfall totals. I like to use Windy's rainfall accumulation. So yeah, as you can see over here, the rainfall totals, you could get upwards of around 7 inches, 8 inches, 7 inches, mainly just along the Mexican coastline, south, not really further inland. Tropical potential tropical cyclone 16E, and it's because it's so slow moving. It can cause heavy impacts along the coastline as well. But let's go over to Guam, Tinian, Rota. This is just one of the scenarios, but this does good. It averages the amounts overall. You could get 6 inches. Yeah, 6 inches on every island almost. So yeah, I mean, half a foot of rain and stuff. Yeah, but here it is near Hong Kong, Sail. You could get some bad rainfall right now, over a foot of rain within the next 5 days or so. And yeah, that's the rainfall totals. Oh yeah, Julia and Carl, they were roughly the same system. There's been different things where the centers. Let me go back on here just to show you guys a rough idea on what they did. Alright, so Julia, as you may know, hits Nicaragua and Costa Rica, that main area. So they went down here and then started curving back up. When this was going on, a low started forming right over here, or not up there, around down here, and started moving in this direction. So basically, the two kind of merged into one low over here, and then it did its little stall and stuff. So it's kind of the same system. It's just that their lows deteriorated, and so then the remnants of one system became the other. So it's kind of like how Grace, um, kind of like Grace, how it did its little path right through here, and then eventually, like, it died out over here, and then eventually revived and became Martin. So it could be considered as Grace Martin. All right, what other questions do you have? Here, right now, I'm going to check out the weather radar of the Northeast right now. You can see how now it's finally moving away. So, rainfall totals are going to be less and less over time. Obviously, when I'm looking at my phone's radar and stuff, it's showing like, oh shoot, there's rotation somewhere, maybe a tornado. But no, it's just due to the fact that's on how gusty the winds are. It makes it seem like that's. But yeah, now you can see how they're all becoming splits, little cells and stuff like that, all throughout over here and stuff. There's little openings in the storm, whereas an hour ago, if it'll load. Oh yeah, never mind. Yeah, you can see how much more it's deteriorated. A lot less. And a good thing about the landfall in from potential tropical cyclone 16E is we'll be able to somewhat observe it through radar. So we'll be able to see where's the heaviest rainfall amounts in this area. We'll be able to somewhat see the center when it makes landfall. It's going to be very hard though because it's not a strong system, thankfully. But also we'll be able to look at um, what's its name, Lydia, through radar much better than the other system. So right through here, never mind, that's not doing a good job of detecting radar or rain. I don't think, never mind, it is somewhat. Alright, so yeah, you'll see Lydia right over here. Here's its center right over here roughly. It's going to do this kind of path. Ish. So yeah, we'll be able to see it on radar throughout this kind of area. Alright, so let's see what other questions are there. Why did Ophelia aim for Spain? Good question. You just that was the perfect timing for both of your questions. Has there ever been a system hit the United Kingdom? Yes, there has been. There's been Lorenzo and stuff like that. It's mainly due to a high pressure. So this is my guess on Ophelia. I don't really know, but this is my main guess, is that there was a high pressure over here. So when Ophelia was around here as a category 3-ish, it was trying to circle this high pressure by moving around this way. And there was likely mainly a low or something over here that caused it to continue or there was a scenario where the high pressure and the low pressure of Ophelia, as one moved here to circle around the high pressure moved with it almost so that one could circle around the other, but it'd keep moving up north. So Lorenzo, it should be kind of the same scenario. Lorenzo went over here, went up north, and then basically did kind of the same thing. Yeah, so systems have impacted the United Kingdom. Never really as a tropical system. There's never been a tropical landfall. Just mainly post-tropical landfalls and stuff like that after the system's already deteriorated. Okay, getting lots of new lightning strikes. Of course, like globally and stuff like that. Yeah, New Brunswick, they're getting hits with some heavy rainfall, moderate mainly. It's not that bad in terms of how much rain per hour there is. If I'm gonna look at my phone real quick on the rain rates. Okay, so at one point it was around an inch per hour. Um, but yeah, it's not anymore. I'm gonna try and pull it up on stream. So yeah, typically you need over an inch per hour for it to be flash flooding kind of scenario. There may be lots of flood advisories. I'm gonna be looking that on my phone shortly. I know you all can't see it. Alright, hold on. About to send it in. Alright, I'm about to get possibly another person in the stream. Alright, so here, I'm gonna pull it up on stream shortly, what it's looking like. Oh, Philippe, why I was going slow here, I'll cover that in a moment. I'm gonna try and call one of my, stream buddies. Alright, and now I'm gonna pull it up on stream right now. Hold on. Alright, here we go, hold on. Alright, so let me post it on stream. Nope, don't have it yet. My bad, let me copy and paste it. Oh, oops, I clicked on the wrong button. Hold on, I'm pulling it up on stream in a moment. Alright, here we go. I'll cover Philippe in a moment on why I was moving super slow. But here's the rainfall rates per hour. So when you get the light grays, or let's see, this color right over here, this little, not this color, but the color right after it, is around a 1/20th of an inch per hour, so, not much. But when you get over to this, let's see, this kind of coloring right over here, not the blues, that's a tenth of an inch per hour. So the blues are now a quarter of an inch per hour. So you'll see right over here. So it'd take 4 hours of that kind of rainfall to get an inch of rainfall. Right. So now as soon as you get to the greens, that's half an inch of rainfall. Light green, and the dark green's 3/4 of an inch per hour. So that's this kind of coloring right here briefly. And then the purple is finally an inch of rainfall per hour. Yeah, so that's, you'll see brief areas of an inch per hour right in this section. And that area has had over, if I look on my phone right now, has had over 2 inches, 2.5 inches of rainfall due to it being such high rain rates briefly. Look at my phone why it was the case. Oh yeah, there were just heavy, heavy rain bands that were occurring in the area nonstop. Alright, so now let's go over to why Philippe slowed down. Um, let's see, so I'm assuming you're talking about during its interaction with Rena, right over here-ish. It's mainly due to the fact that um, it's called the Fujiwara effects when two lows circle around each other. So here they are, and Philippe is trying to go this direction, right over here. At the time, it was trying to go this direction, but then Rena is pulling this direction. So while Philippe wants to go west, it's getting pulled to the east, if that makes sense. So it's basically getting pulled by both sides, so it needs to stall, as in it doesn't know which way to go. Then finally, it moves south once Rena's out of its grips or whatever. Um, so then it finally is able to do what it wants to do. Um, so is that what you're talking about? I'm assuming so. When it was nearing Rena and stuff like that. Right. So, yeah, that's one of the main things that happened with Philippe, and that's why now it's heading towards the United States. Earlier, if it weren't for Rena, it would just go this direction and die out over Puerto Rico. But because of Rena, now we're streaming now, basically. It's mainly Rena's fault. Just like how with Freddy, it was another system's fault that it lasted so long and went towards Madagascar. Forgot which system it was, but it caused systems can cause other systems to go a different path and impact lands, or maybe even go away from land. But in this case, it's now going towards land. But yeah, another thing though is Lydia was a hard system to forecast. Let's say Lydia was initially forecasted to go away from like it was. This is one of the systems that had the highest amount of uncertainty with a tropical cyclone in the eastern Pacific basin. Half the models wanted it to go towards Mexico, the other half wanted it to go away. So the main forecast from the National Hurricane Center had it going away, but then it seemed like, oh, it's actually going to turn around. So that's what it's doing right now. Do not know what shifted its focus to do that. It might have been 16E that's trying to drag it over. I doubt it though. So I do not know what caused it to make that little movement. And, that's why, but, that's the main reason how it became a hurricane threat. Oh, why was Lorenzo so strong? Back in 2019, I'm gonna pull up the Wikipedia article actually. Hurricane Lorenzo. Alright, let me see why. It was. It went under rapid intensification. I mean, sea surface temperatures are typically warm in that region, and so that's why you get some strengthening and stuff like that. And afterwards, it went under an eye wall replacement cycle due to dry air, and so that's when you get the stronger storm, stronger peak, stuff like that. All right. So here, something I wanted to show you all is what I mean with the hurricanes heading towards the or doing a Philippe kind of scenario, or Philippe, Lee, um, what else? Fiona, all those kind of scenarios. Here is roughly. Here, let me move these out of the way, just so I can show you all a brief kind of way that these systems do it. So here, let me see if this does it. Oh, nope, never mind. Oh god, my bad. Here, let me restart that a bit. No, I need it's right around here. This a little bit low. I guess I'll just add this as well. Right, so this is roughly kind of a scenario that happens. Kind of. Nope, never mind. It was not sucked away. As you can see, it's not taking the path I wanted it to. Right. So yeah, let me move this up a little bit more north, this a little bit more north. Let's see if this kind of does it better. Nope. Alright, hold on. This might do it finally. Oh my god, hold on. Don't get why it doesn't want to cooperate like that. Here we go, now it should work. And when you're talking about a system, nope, okay, hold on. Yeah, there we go, there we go. Kind of. Alright, let me just fix this a little bit more. Something kind of like this. This will show you all a better scenario on how it does this kind of movement. There's typically a high pressure on the east of the storm, which, as you can see, it's trying to bring it this way. And then there's a low over the Michigans and stuff like that. So that's why you've got two conflicting factors. One wants to bring it this direction, and the other wants to bring it this direction. So yeah, typically what it does is it turns east due to the high and then turns west due to the low pressure. And this is exactly what Philippe's doing right now, where it's turning north and then it's going to merge with the low right over here. And hopefully this gives you guys a better idea of how it's happening. Or like what's causing it to do this and that kind of stuff. Yeah, and this is how you get the Lee kind of scenario and stuff like that. Where it has a good time to strengthen and stuff like that. But also the main thing with storms like this as well, whenever they're transitioning into post-tropical systems, sometimes they can strengthen as well, or just hold off their intensity. Lee was an 80-mile-an-hour storm for like a day. It did not weaken one bit for a whole entire day. And then same thing when it was a 75-mile-an-hour post-tropical hurricane. It took so long for it to finally weaken. It had to be towards land interaction. So that's why it lasted as a hurricane so long. Typically, you'd see storms become a tropical storm earlier than. Right, yeah, so here, let me play the loop throughout the past 6 hours, I'd say, is a good amount. And also, I'm going to pull up the National Hurricane Center since we have new updates on stuff. In a moment after this finally loads. So there's that heavy rain band I was talking about earlier, heading forward Maine and stuff like that. That's why we got the inch plus an hour per hour kind of rates. I'm gonna check on my phone if there were any flood advisories issued. I expect it. Yep, many flood advisories have been issued, flood warnings, that kind of stuff. Yeah, and also there are power outages with the system actually. I'm gonna pull that up on stream. Here we go. Power outage US. Maine's grid right now isn't too good anymore, so because of this, so yeah, that's where you get all these, the customers out and stuff like that. I'm gonna post about this on Twitter actually. So here we go. I'm gonna post about it on Twitter real quick. Wait, did Ophelia happen this year? Yeah, I think so. Oh yeah, I know. Hold on. Give me a moment. Hold on, I'm pulling it up shortly. Alright, here, let me just post about it on Twitter. Alright. So, M-A-Y. Okay, I got an instant retweet and stuff like that. Okay, yeah, so these are the power outages up here. We've got some power outages in New Hampshire. Nothing much, but it's mainly due to Maine stuff. You got 12,000 out of 41,000 people without power in Hancock. And in Washington, you got around a tenth of people without power there. And, you've got your typical power outages due to any main storm and stuff like that. It's just mainly due to the wind that's been causing this. If we pull up observations and stuff like that, you could see 20-mile-an-hour sustained winds, stuff like that. So here we go. 43-mile-an-hour gust, 31-mile-an-hour gust, 45-mile-an-hour gust. Tropical storm force gust, basically, in the area. So that's mainly because of Philippe and stuff like that. So it's still wind events. Here's this radar. Pretty soon it should update the front observations and stuff like that. But here we go. Let's go over to the National Hurricane Center and see what they've done to the chances. All right, so 92 in our 92L is now formation chances connected, and there's no more arrow anymore. So this is a 30% chance throughout the next 48 hours, 80% throughout the next 7 days. Right, a low-latitude tropical wave located a few hundred miles off the west coast of Africa continues to produce a large area of disorganized showers and thunderstorms. Environmental conditions appear conducive for gradual development of the system, and a tropical depression is likely to form by midweek while it moves westward to west-northwestward across the eastern tropical Atlantic. So yeah, around midweek it should form. Alright, let's look at the eastern Pacific. We got a 90-90 chance for a potential tropical cyclone 16 to form, and we've got advisory 1A on it. So this is its newest advisory. Yeah, so it's just a positional update, basically. They still have it at 30 miles an hour. No updates in tropical depression or storm status. Nothing with Lydia or anything. Yeah, but pretty soon a frontal updates should be made, and we can see if the low is actually over Maine or not. Alright, here, hold on, I'm pulling up my live stream thing shortly. Alright. Oh yeah, Ophelia, are you talking, you said, why is Ophelia TS? What do you mean by that? Do you think it's stronger? Do you think it's not tropical, or what is it? Yeah, Alright, so satellite does not matter with this kind of system. Let me just state that. Since Recon was in it. Recon confirmed it was a 60 to 65 knot storm, which is 70 to 75 miles an hour, which 75 and above is hurricane. So yeah, there is support for hurricane. Let me just state that first. Um, so it likely was a brief hurricane. Oh my god, now I need to do the this part's for what do you mean? Is it Max 2017 Hurricane Max? Let me look that up. Hurricane Max 2017. No, I don't think so. The system had a nascent eye, so could have been a little bit stronger than Cat 1, I'd say. But I don't know. I'd have to check if recon was done and stuff like that. Let me look at this radar imagery on it. Oh geez, yeah, that's very powerful. Oh geez, just a hurricane warning for most of the area, not even a tropical storm warning or anything like that. Wow, okay. So I mean, I don't know about that. Still gonna be still gonna be bad, but I mean, like it's Lydia's not gonna. I don't know. It could do the same kind of scenario, but this is mainly where potential tropical cyclone 16 is hitting, not Lydia. And also, we cannot predict what other storms will be in the future. Okay, just know that. But oh yeah, I forgot. Max is. Okay, yeah, never mind. I forgot. 16E is gonna be max. So it could honestly. There's nothing stopping it really. I don't think it will be like a category 2 or anything like that. Okay, I'm looking at 14E, my bad. Um, Here we go. Yeah, so I mean, we got two systems, just like back then. There were two systems. Forgot what the end name was. It was just on here. Norma and Max, kind of the same kind of thing. What the heck? Why are they showing this as a cone? I don't know. All right, so right. So yeah. So the system is it could be a repeats. I don't know though. I don't think it will be. There's yeah, that can't be ruled out. So yeah, 16E could become a repeats of Max 2017. So I don't know, 2023 and 2017. Interesting that they have the same names. Also, look at this heavy rain band heading towards Quebec and Saguenay, that area. They're finally getting the heavy rain band. Alright, hold on. Yeah, but the flood watch still exists in the Northeast there. Yeah, up to 5 inches of rain possible, stuff like that. And let me check the recent. Oh yeah, hold on. Let me check if the frontal observation stuff has changed. Yes, here we go. This was as of 02Z, or 03Z actually. The low was still offshore. So wait, this was as of 11 p.m. So yeah, it's likely already hit land, I'd say. As you can see, this was its time frame then. Technically, that's not Philippe. Philippe is this leather low, but still, it's technically a part of Philippe, so counting that. And the low is almost merged with the front, as you can see. On here, it probably already has, because if I go back a bit, you can see here's the front. If I can get my drawing tool open, this is the cold front right through here. This is the low. So then later on, if I speed it up a bit, yeah, you'll notice that the cold front right over here, here's the lowish, I think. I think that's the low. Let me look at the past little bits. Is yeah, if that's the case, it has not made landfall. Yeah, it looks like it's almost about to make landfall, though. So yeah, here's the center right around here. So it's almost made landfall. Let me look at satellite imagery. Um, Visible. So this is the most up to date. Let me see if there's any mesosectors that can show me the. Is there anything on it? Nope, guess not. And well, actually, never mind. There's. Did they update it or something? Okay, they updated it. It's nice. All right. So, it's not. It's not really good position. Right, but you asked me if it could be a Category 1. Um, I don't know if 16E could become a Category 1. Or, I mean, it could. But I don't know if it will. It doesn't have really that much time, I guess you could say. Since it's going to be a tropical storm right over here, and it has 36 hours to intensify. And land interaction will take place within 24 hours. So, I mean, I highly doubt it will be a hurricane. But yeah, this could prove me wrong. I don't know. And also, chances of tropical storm force winds are increasing along the coast of Mexico from both systems. And as you can see, they're both combined. Look at this. Nope, okay. So both systems are merged. It's kind of funny, right? Alright, so what other questions? Alright, but something that could maybe occur is a bit of storm surge. Just a bit of like water raising along parts of Nova Scotia, Maine, New Brunswick, that kind of area. Not much. Just gonna be a little bit of a flow onshore. I don't think so. Yeah, over here, as you can see, there could be a little bit of flow onshore, but that's not going to really do anything. But also something else to note, though, is that the system, um, although it shows that it's going to be a 35-mile-an-hour remnant low, it may not even make it here at all. Seriously, they just have it there because they need a point to because if they have it like end right over here, that's not going to make any sense. They need to add a dot at the very end or something where it's going to die. That's why they do it. It may die even before it gets there, near Zacatecas. Because, yeah, systems typically die out very, very quickly in this mountainous terrain area. The remnants of it could actually make its towards the Gulf of Mexico, that area. Then eventually, head towards Florida, like I was saying earlier. Let me just check something else as well. I want to look at something I haven't really touched on is the fact that this system could deliver snow. Philippe could deliver bits of snow to the north, mainly in Canada, but maybe potentially areas in New York, just a bit. Let me do total snowfall rates. So here, it's already delivering snowfall. Some areas could get nearly 20 inches of snow, but I bet that they don't. It's nothing new for them. But yeah, parts of New York could get a bit of snow, probably in the mountains if there are some. Not really much, just a trace of snow. How strong is Invest 92L going to be? Um, let's see. Looking back at it, let me see, because we should have models out on it by now. Nice. Here we go. I don't. Keep in mind, this is likely not accurate at all. This is just the beginning part of it. It may do that, but that's on the higher end of things. I believe that this could actually be a bit accurate now, though. Um, your gradual development, and then peaking out, and then it should die out a lot quicker than this, I'd say. But yeah, it could become a Category 1. Here's the forecast path, as you can see. They're initializing it horribly since there's no real good center. So, we really don't know where it's, like, how far east, how far west that it's going to go. So yeah, 92L. Let me look at its appearance. Is it should have a low to its roughly. Can't look at visible imagery for obvious reasons. Let me look at when sunset's going to be occurring. Yeah, sunset's going to be approaching soon for Belhaven. And I think that's a landfall within the next 3 days. Yes, it is. So here, if I go to rain rates and stuff like that, rain accumulation. Next 3 days. Almost. But yeah, 92L could become a hurricane out to sea and then not really impact anywhere else. Thankfully, we can just get another fish storm. Hopefully. Alright, let me look at the GFS run. Yep, as you can see, it just dies out. Alright, so let's see. What else is there to talk about? One thing I'm wondering though is how low is the pressure gonna get with Belhaven, because it's, as you can see here, they think it's gonna get down to the 950s, and keep in mind it likely will get way down low in this time frame right over here. Uh, should get very, very low, but the fact that they have it very, very low pressure as a post-tropical system is insane. Really, I mean, granted, it still could be a hurricane or a typhoon. I mean, up here, I mainly stop out by day 7 and turn post-tropical. But still, it's going to be a very, very low pressure system. It's going to be interesting to see the impacts that this will possibly bring over to Alaska. And Alaska has been hit with several systems recently, mainly last year. There were 2 typhoons that struck Alaska as post-tropical systems. What do you mean? Anything here in California? Any terms of impacts, I can check. I doubt there's going to be anything um, at all. Again, that was a rare anomaly with Hillary. But keep in mind that has become more frequent. We've had K of last year that tried to do almost the same kind of scenario. But yeah, after Hillary, it's likely going to be a dead season. So I do not expect much at all for California and stuff. But if you're talking about snow, um, I don't know if you're talking about snow or anything. But if you are snow in California, in the mountains and stuff like that, so we could be looking at an average season there. I was watching something on it with the Weather Channel and whatnot. One of the people who work at the California snow research area. That yeah, they could be getting an average kind of season. Which something interesting I found out about that though is that snow has lasted throughout the whole entire year on the mountains and whatnot. After we've had 63 feet of snow in the mountains and whatnots, over like 700 inches of snow, that the snow has made it throughout the summer. It's happened before, but still, that's a pretty insane thing to think about. Right. So is that what you were talking about, or do you want me to cover anything else with California? Right, let me check. Ooh, any other heat waves? Right now, we're actually going through a cold blast with a cold front connected with Philippe. Let me pull it up on here. As you could see earlier, it was much warmer. Now, due to the cool air, so I don't really expect any heat waves afterwards. Yeah, just because the cold front's making everything so cold and stuff. There may be some over Texas and southern Florida and maybe even parts of Arizona and California. I guess maybe a little bit, but mainly over the mountains and stuff like that. Well, that should get relieved with another cold front. I don't know about California though. It doesn't seem like it's. So yeah. Oh, why did Dorian not hit Florida? That's a good question. Um, so let's see. Yeah, let me pull up Zoom Earth. I believe it was due to a high pressure something, or a front that was, I don't know. It's a very, I don't honestly know because, as you know, it was going towards Florida, then it decided to stall, and then it rode up the east coast, and then turned post-tropical. I don't know what caused it to do that. Right. Yeah, I guess so. Oh yeah, there was a high over Florida that blocked it from moving there, I guess. So yeah, there was a high pressure, and then as it was moving, it stalled because it couldn't get through it. the circle basically, and then it got pushed away with the high pressure, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, back over to Philippe. Let me look at radar. Yeah, things have definitely gotten better. Oh, my bad, not. Let me pull up weather radar. Yep, as you can see, it's been getting better and better. Well, yeah, 2017 was catastrophic overall. I mean, with multiple storms that caused, or like, one of the most costliest seasons. Alright, anyways, with Philippe, the low is likely still offshore, is my guess. I don't know. And let me check the recent HRRR run to see if it has made landfall. Yep, looks like it has. And as you can see, that's where the snow is and stuff like that. Let me pull up an earlier run to see further. There it is with some sleet and stuff like that. It's an interesting case where you see, here, let me pull it up on here. Oh wait, never mind, actually it isn't, hold on. Yeah, but where you see, snow caught in between areas of rain and stuff like that. But it's mainly just due to the low pressure and the cold air it's causing. Um, yeah, Maria and Irma destroyed the Caribbean and stuff like that, yes. Alright, so let me go back to this. Yeah, but once again, here's the here's 16E. Here I'm actually gonna read the discussion. Um, oh no, actually I don't think I am. But yeah, you can see convection blowing up near the center-ish, and that's where he gets the soon may become a tropical depression, likely within the next 9 hours, as the National Hurricane Center forecasted. Yeah, but here's the Weather Prediction Center's thing. Um, the remnants of post-tropical cyclone Philippe continue to shift northward across central areas of Maine tonight, with widespread areas of half an inch to 1.5 inch rain rates per hour noted per observations. The heaviest rainfall was focused across southern and central Maine, up just northeast of Portland. Um, so yeah, more northward shift and heavier rain rates. I don't know what that red line is. It's kind of like the remnants. But that overall thing, I don't know if that's Philippe's remnants though. That X, I don't know what they're trying to show in this. Oh yeah, here it was earlier. Oh well, highest likelihood of 3 to 5 inch totals. Alright, hold on. Let me go back a little bit earlier as well. Yeah, because also there was moderate flash flooding due to the cold fronts that was going through. So as you can see, the last three discussions. Let me see if it was some before. 4, 5, 6, 7. The past 7 discussions were related to it. First the trough, and we get another trough over here with a cold front. We get the cold front moving in. Cold front continues to move in. and continues, and then time for both of them to collide. And there we go. So, yeah, right. I think I may end the stream now. Don't see many people watching it. Well, thank you everyone so much for watching both events and Sham and the Burbs. Um, Sham and the Burbs, where are you from? Just wondering, because I want to know when you would typically watch the streams. Like, what time is it for you right now, I guess? Is events likely in California, so um, yeah, I mean that makes sense why they'd be able to watch. It's like 10 p.m. there, something like that. For me, it's 2:27 a.m., so definitely a late stream, but I've been preparing for it. So yeah, Sham and the Burbs, where are you from? While you're answering that, I'm going to cover the what time these systems could make landfall in. So starting out with Lydia, it could make landfall on Tuesday nights. Of course, it's at night, and then 16E is going to do it on Monday night. So both of them at nights, likely. And then Koinu, likely going to do the same on Monday night, so I'd get two systems in one. And then same kind of thing with Bolaven as well. So you have four systems at once, basically. I'm gonna have to make an interesting thumbnail for that. I'm gonna have to try and figure that out. Today's just starting as Sunday. Wow. Okay, hold on. Shame in the Burbs. I guess it might be morning, but anyways, guess I'll stop the stream now. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching, and be sure to get ready for Monday's and Tuesday's stream. That's all I could say. That's going to be a busy one with multiple systems to keep monitoring at once to look at where both landfalls are going to be occurring and stuff like that. So be sure you'll be ready for Monday nights Eastern Time. Likely, maybe a bit earlier, maybe a bit later, depending on when the system will try and make landfall. But it's looking like Monday night and Tuesday nights. Alright, so I'll see you all later. Yes, I will be going live for Lydia 16E, which will soon be named Max. I'll be live for Kanoon and or Koinu, and also uh, whatever that other system's name is, Bolaven. So all four of these systems I'll be live for basically. 97W, it depends if that will hit the Philippines or not. Doesn't seem like it's, but yeah, all four systems will be under a live stream basically on tomorrow actually. Wow, tomorrow. Forgot it's Sunday 2:30 a.m. right now, so yeah, tomorrow there will be the big stream on the systems and whatnots. So yeah, I'll see you tomorrow, I guess. Good night, everyone. Bye bye.